Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and today I'm bringing you another exclusive interview for the Daily Show. I'm here with Titans coach Mandla Mashimbyi, and I'm really excited to talk to him because it's a nice review of the season. I'm going to catch up with him after a long time. I mean, I only saw him briefly here and there at the SA20, but we never got to chat for a very long time. But before I get into the interview, there's just a couple of things that I'd like you guys to please do. I see 40% of you guys are watching the shows but not subscribing. So please subscribe to the channel first and click that notification bell for all future videos. I also would like you guys to please just do a couple of things, some notifications that I have to give you. Download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. If you want to help us grow and promote South African cricket, become a patron today. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. Like, comment, share, subscribe, please. Go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. So, without further ado, we're going to go straight into this interview. I'll see you guys now very, very soon. Good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show exclusive interview. I'm your host Khalid and today I'm joined by Titans coach Mandla Mashimbyi. Welcome to the show, coach. How are you doing? How are you feeling? I know we're running a bit late together here, but we're still going to go through with it. How are you feeling?
No, I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Getting some resting time now. Yeah, so obviously I'm just looking forward to chatting to you tonight as well.
Yeah, it will be nice to catch up because I mean, what have you been up to now that now the season's over? I mean, it was a hectic schedule compared to other seasons, with all the cricket that happened.
Yeah, and the thing is, it all happened in like a short space of time. It was like condensed into like 4 months. Normally we finish our seasons in April, and now second week of March we like looking at each other and thinking, geez, what are we gonna do for the next 2 months? But that's how it goes sometimes. We just have to roll with the punches. I'm just happy that we've had a pretty good season. So now it's about planning and obviously putting all the skeletons to make sure that when preseason starts, everybody's on the same page. And yeah, there's another season to play again. Obviously, start September again.
Yeah. So let's start with the season and a review of it. Obviously winning the T20 competition, a massive, massive achievement for you guys again. I mean, you're constantly winning trophies almost every single year. How do you keep it up? And what's your assessment of the season so far across all formats?
It's actually quite funny you asked that because I actually was having a chat with one of my players and I just mentioned to him like it just felt a bit weird this season, just in terms of how things went. I mean, if you think about it, we played until December. We'd only played one and a half tournaments, because we still had to finish the 4-day campaign. Um, and and for me, it just was like, wow, at this time you would think that you're so far into the season, you almost understand where your players stand, and you gotta maybe you have to make decisions on certain players, but it was difficult to do that this season because of just how everything shaped up. But otherwise, I think having the start that we had, it was quite encouraging for us. I think we kind of needed that good start, and we the only bad thing was the fact that we won that and we went into 50 overs and we didn't play really well. We had a average, very average, below average 50 over campaign, and we had to claw our way back in the 4-day campaign, and to a point where only losing the competition by a point and a half.
Yeah.
And then you start looking back and you think, shit, why, if we just got that one run there, if we just got those 10 runs there, if we just taken or stopped those 2 runs there, but it doesn't help. if you're sitting and saying that, it means you didn't do certain things right. You just have to reflect and make sure that you get it right the next opportunity that comes.
But how difficult does it make it when you have to jump from format to format? I mean, stopping the 4 day in the middle and then continuing with white ball stuff, and then there's a SA20, and then back to 4 day competition again. How difficult is it for you as a coach to prepare your players for those jumps in formats?
Yeah, it is quite challenging, and it's been like this for the last couple of seasons. So to be fair, we should be used to it by now. We just have to obviously deal with what's in front of us, and we just have to make sure that we prepared well for whatever competition that we are faced with. Yes, the turnaround time doesn't help anybody, but it's not only for us as Titans; it's for everyone in the competition. So it does affect everybody negatively or positively, but at the same time, you just have to make sure that you tick all your boxes to make sure that the guys put in the performances when the opportunity arises.
There is one difference though between the Titans and other teams, and that's the amount of Proteas players that you guys have in the team. I mean, Stuart said here in the live chat, he says there's a lot of depth in the Titans. How do you ensure that the squad is rotated so that all players are happy ultimately? But also, I mean, that disruption, it must be quite a disruption to have players leave and then come back, and you're not sure who's going to be in the Proteas setup and who's not, especially with this new regime.
Yeah, it's all nice and well to think that we've got all the big players. We still have to manage those players, and all the movements that happen within the season also doesn't they're not friendly to anybody, because you want continuity, you want a little bit of consistency. And when you coach at the Titans, that's probably one of the things that you need to manage, and it's pretty tough to manage. But at the same time, if you've got a good environment and you've got good structures in place, everybody understands where they stand, and they understand this is how we roll. And it makes everybody to be at ease when this thing starts happening, and that's what makes my job a lot easier. Everybody understands that playing for the Titans, this kind of things are going to happen. And now it's just all about managing the players and making them understand that maybe some players might play this game, some players might play the odd game, but it's just about just getting them to play cricket again, and also add value from an environment point of view, because these guys come down and they want to do well for this team, and that's what we blessed as a team, because there's a strong legacy and culture within the Titans environment with regards to Protea players. These guys actually ask you to come back and play for the team. Where I don't know about other teams, but I know that there's some coaches that struggle with that. Just to get the Proteas back and playing. But we blessed in the sense that the guys actually ask you if they can come into the environment and add value. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things, and these are the things that we sign up for as coaches. And I mean, this is the cross that I have to carry, and then I'm just gonna have to make sure that I carry it with a distinction, because if I don't do that, then it affects the whole bigger picture.
So let me ask you some insight over here into the new season. We obviously know there's going to be new transfers and also players leaving. Can you give me some insight into the players that have left the Titans, and then you can move on maybe into some of the players that you signed and looking to sign? I don't know if your business is done or not.
No, we're done with our business. We just send the legal contracts now out. We're waiting for everybody to return their contracts. So we're losing two players. We're losing Division Pillay to the Warriors, and we're losing Okusekele to the Dolphins. And then obviously TNS having retired, also Classy going up to the Proteas contracting list as well. And then what's going to happen is that Hama also is not going to be in our contracting list, and hopefully he still commits to playing for us on the pay for play kind of arrangement, because he's only going to be taking part in the test squad. So I think it's only fair to make him play only 4-day cricket, and then he can just obviously prepare himself for the test matches. And then the guys that we're bringing in is a guy from your hometown in Cape Town, Matthew Kleinveld. Is coming in from the Knights.
Mm.
Josh van Heerden from Border, and then we're bringing in Cladi Bukaku from the Lions. And the last guy that we're bringing in is Gerald Coetzee from the Knights.
How excited are you to bring a youngster like Gerald into your team? I mean, you've seen what he did, for example, in the SA20s and for South Africa now, with being a national player. How excited are you for young talents like that coming into your side?
Yeah, remember our signings, we don't just sign people just for the sake of signing. We kind of like assess where the team is at, and we obviously discuss what the team needs at that point. I mean, Clady is a new ball bowler. He swings the ball and nips it at good pace. Is where we felt maybe we short up front. And then, Gerald brings pace. It's, you can't buy pace. And, if you've got pace, you can almost control the game in terms of when do you want to take wickets and when do you want to control the rate. And then you can bring in a guy like Gerald to be the enforcer. And we're blessed. We still have Boshi in our reins as well. So two is better than one. And you still have Junior Dala as well. So, there'll be some good competition within the squad with regards to, the playing 11, which is healthy, which is a nice problem to have as well. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward what the boys are going to bring on the table. And, yeah, I wish them nothing but the best of luck. And, I'm looking forward to working with them and make sure that I can improve um, them by 10%, and then hopefully that will help us win trophies again.
Now, in the coaching department as well, you're losing someone that is been a big, well, in my opinion, has been a big part of your coaching staff. We know his value that he brings in Jeffrey Toyana. Can you maybe give me some insight into what it was like to work with him, and how you feel about him, or a couple of words for him going forward into his new gig?
No, listen, I mean Jeff is an old experienced coach, and having to tap into his wisdom was a pleasure for me. To working with him brings a lot of energy, brings a lot of understanding of the game. I felt sometimes, as an assistant coach, he probably doesn't get the growth that he deserves. He needs to be running his own team. That's why I'm happy for him for this opportunity that has come in his life at the moment, where he's going to head up his own team, and then he can make the difference that he feels he can make within the structures that he'll be working in. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him actually change lives and change the fortunes of Eastern's cricket, and hopefully he can come back up and we play against him. But I mean, the experience and the knowledge that he brings or he brought to the Titans was invaluable. So I wish him nothing but luck, best of luck as well. But I know he's going to do well. I know he's going to change the fortunes of Eastern's cricket as well. So, yeah, kudos to him.
Yeah. And when you decide on coaching staff, etc., and picking your coaching staff, what sort of attributes do you look for when it comes to picking your assistant coaches, your batting coaches, and bowling coaches, etc.?
Yeah, so it's quite simple. I actually just I look at myself, and I look at the qualities that I have, and I look at the qualities that I actually don't have, and then whoever I want next to me must be an extension of what I'm not.
Mm.
So they need to be something that I'm not, so that they can challenge me, so that we can challenge each other, we can debate, but ultimately we come to the right decision that's going to be the best for the team. So that's basically what I look for: is what do you carry that I don't carry, and how best can we put it together and make it work for the interest of the team.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, and with regards to the mental side of the game, from mental conditioning, I mean, we know that Richard Das Neves was involved with the high performance sector within your side, which is something new that we don't normally see in this level of cricket. It's normally at the national or semi-national level. Can you
Mm.
tell me about that role and what it was like to have a high performance coach, and how much you guys emphasize a mental game, or psychologist, or whatever the case may be? Do you guys look at that or think of that in the future?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we've tested the last two seasons. We've had Louis. Lou Ludic, he was helping us in that sense. He was a performance coach. And I thought, on a one-on-one basis, he was really, really good with some of the guys that he had to work with. And then we also got a guy by the name of, call him Mr. Vermeulen. He was also helping us with our preseason stuff. Really, really good. And he dealt more on behaviors. He made us understand the different behaviors that we have in the team and how best we can use our differences to benefit the bigger picture. So we've tapped in those type of avenues with regards to mental coaches, performance coaches. Yeah, it's just tough, obviously, now because the budget doesn't really allow certain things, but it is something that I would love permanently to have next to me, and somebody that you can bounce ideas with. It's also about identifying where your team is at and find the right person for where you are as a team, so that everything can just align beautifully. And in terms of our performance with Dassi obviously brings a lot of experience. He's a head coach in his own right. He's done well. He's successful, and we brought him into our environment to work on the betting side of things. The high performance thing was just an extension, but mainly was for him to help us from a betting point of view as well. And I thought he did a really, really amazing job in his time there. And I think he's gonna, even now as assistant, that's gonna be his role to look after the betting side of things, and I'll probably look after the bowling side of things as well. Again, like I said, it's what does a person carry that I don't carry, and then we just need to find a way to make it work for the best interest of the team.
Okay, brilliant. So let's get into some of the questions from the fans that are in the live chat. Sadiq goes into the deep end straight away. He says, "Welcome, coach. I would go straight into the public's most asked question: why Devold
Yeah.
wasn't playing early in 4-day competition, and what is the plan with him for both 4-day and 50 over? Is he going to open?"
I think what's his name? Sadiq Somro.
Yeah.
Sadiq, I think it's a bit too early to assume and also talk about the plans for Devold. Because we won the 4-day comp last year. And I think it wouldn't be fair on the guys that actually made it possible for us to win that 4-day campaign. For Devold to just walk into the team. You got to give the guys the opportunity first that have done well for you. And then you can slowly introduce a player like Devold. Remember, he's still young, guys. He's still 19. There will be a plethora of opportunities for him in years to come where he's going to have to develop his 4-day. But, and in saying that, in the 3 games that he played for us, you could see this gradual improvement and him understanding his betting a bit more. So it can only stand him in good stead going forward. And then, going forward with guys like Tianas not being available, who knows? He might just play a big role for us in 4-day cricket. And also, if he plays good 4-day cricket, it means 50 over cricket becomes really easy for him. And we all know that he's natural and explosive better. So if he can look after the other side of his batting, I think we're creating a monster in the coming years, and it'll be a good asset for South African cricket. So yeah, to just answer that, I think it's a bit too early to answer. We also need to align with what CSA sees and want him to probably, or which gap does CSA want him to fill, and then we'll make decisions accordingly when the time comes.
Okay, that's awesome to know that there is a communication with regards to that, where the Proteas see them and where the Titan, where you guys can help as well. That's interesting that you said that. So let's move on to the next question. Stuart says again, Pretoria is known for producing top schoolboy batters. Having said that, how can we help the youngsters adjust to 4-day cricket?
Well, it's simple. I don't have a magic answer. They must just play. They must play as much cricket as they can. Hopefully, next season the structures will be a little bit different, and these boys will get more opportunities to play more games, more maybe 3-day games or stuff like that, and that will be good for cricket overall, especially for youngsters these days. The one thing that they struggle with is having the ability to bat for long periods. I mean, we were lucky to have a guy like Herman last year or 2 years ago. To come in and show the grit that he showed, and in the way that in the manner in which he went about his innings was really refreshing, because he was just coming out of school. But you can see that there are guys that like scoring runs quickly, and then you get guys that love batting. They just want to bat for a long time. And it's all about just finding a balance in the team and understanding these youngsters that are coming in. Is he the one that likes to score runs quickly, or is he the one that likes to bat for a long time? And just put him in an environment where will allow him to express himself. And then obviously as time goes, you just add in the little bits that are going to make him even better as time goes.
Brilliant answer. Will the Titans consider loaning players out to other provinces?
Stuart, it will depend where we're at as a team. What we need at the time, which conditions are we going to play at. So those things are going to play a role in us, having to make such big decisions. It's not always easy. It's nice for players to play, but it's not always easy for players to go into other environments and just expect to just rock up and perform. So there needs to be a plan beforehand, and this needs to be communicated to the players, suggesting that if there's not much opportunities for you, this is where we see you fitting in. Maybe we might loan you to a Division 2 team, if we can, and so you can play cricket whenever we need you. We can get you back. Yeah, it's quite a double-edged sword type of question, that, because the player must also want to go. It's not just me saying you must go there. He must say, I want to go, or I'm gonna stuck it out, coach. I wanna work out on my game because I feel like I'm gonna improve more just by staying behind and working on my game. And then when the opportunity comes, I'll be ready to go and make an impact. So there's pros and cons in all of these things, but at the end of the day, it will be where I think the team is at and what we need, and if the player would like to go on loan.
DT wants to know, how do guys who play for Northerns get integrated into the Titans team? Is there a specific plan that is followed?
Yeah, there's definitely a plan. So we identify certain players that we feel are not far off from playing for us. Those players become part of our preseason training. They do everything with us. They must understand our culture. They must understand their requirements. And also we do PDPs with these players to understand what their needs are. And from a skill point of view, from a personal point of view, from a mental point of view. And then we make sure that we put programs in place to assist them the best way possible. And then, when the season starts, we can obviously assess from game to game whether they've made the improvements needed. And that's how we integrate them. It's tough now because there's no amateur cricket, so we can't say they're gonna go and play 2 years of amateur cricket and then all of a sudden, they're good enough to play for us. Now we need to just keep them in the environment to make sure that they are exposed to the standards of Titans.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, which is DT also asked the question, but I was going to ask it anyway, and that was your experience in the SA20. I mean, what a competition! I mean, from a fan perspective, to be able to watch this competition in full action, the stars that were available, the level of cricket that was played. What is your thoughts on the SA20 and your experience at the tournament? Obviously, being with the Power Royals.
I thought it was a huge success. I just read, I think it was last week when they were talking about, they were giving us feedback based on the viewership and, people that came into the gates. It was funny how the numbers correlated in terms of eyeballs and then in terms of bums on seats. It was unbelievable. And I think they made profit in their first year, which was unheard of. But for me, in terms of the experience, in itself was unbelievable. Having to rub shoulders with players that have won World Cups, players that are from outside our country, and also our local players, working with them in those type of environments, and where they start understanding how these big players think and how they train, how they go about the prep, and it can only, add value to our system, and also our ecosystem as a cricketing nation. And I'm looking forward to next year already, man. I can't wait. I just want to see, because I can just see this thing improving year by year, and I'm looking forward to what's 2024 has to offer.
I mean, you guys had three World Cup winners in your team. I mean, one ODI World Cup winner. And, I mean, there's obviously Josh Butler. There was there. There was Owen Morgan that was in that team as well as Jason Roy. Can you give me some insight into their thinking? What makes them different, or the way they think about the game to players that you've dealt with before?
Yeah, I mean, they're human. That's the first thing I'll tell you. Um, but they just keep things simple. That's simplicity is their currency in terms of how they think about the game. They're ultra positive. They don't compromise in the way they want to play the game. And they go out there and they show intent first before execution. You know, and it was just unbelievable. Even when they fail, you see the same guy. Jason Roy was the funniest because he just throws his toys, but he was consistent in doing that. And then like 10 minutes later, the guy is having a laugh. Because he believes that the next opportunity that comes, he'll do well. It might not be so, but the fact that he believes it's good enough. Because if he catches fire, we all know what he can do. So yeah, it was a breath of fresh air for me in terms of seeing people that keep the game simple, but yet they're very, very aggressive in terms of their approach. Um, how they train as also it's a bit, like they laid back, but yes, is when they cross that boundary, they switch on, and they just want to excel in whatever it is that they want to do at that particular moment.
Okay, so Ahmed asked you a question is a difficult one because I don't necessarily think you'll maybe be involved with our tours, of course, and making sure of that. That's Enoch and the coaches' jobs of South Africa. But let me ask you from your bowling experience and based on your domestic experience now, and obviously in the SA20 as well. We have like this. I wouldn't say there's a lack of wrist spinners in the country currently. You obviously have Shamsi in yours that you've been working with for a while now. There are some youngsters too. Can you maybe give us some insight into that next in line spinners? Maybe some wrist spinners that you saw that maybe stand out to you.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Caleb Silika, you've got Junaid Dawood, you've got this youngster now that signed for the Lions, Ngaba Peter. Apparently, the Proteas were very, very, very impressed with him when he bowled for them in Border in East London, and I mean, hence the Lions signed him, so there were good feedback from the Proteas in terms of the skill set that he was imposing when he was bowling for them. Sean from back, and also a guy like Gerald is going to have to take his bowling a little bit seriously as well. So, yeah, I think those are the names that I can think of that can potentially, go up and play for South Africa one day.
Mhm. Stuart wants to know what was it like to work with Vian Libel, and you thought that him and Fortuin were outstanding at ball.
Yeah, I mean, both of them. I mean, Vian is a professional through and through. Fortuin, really, really good. He's a fighter, really, really a big asset. I think every team would want to have a player like him. And Vian Liebe is a guy that just continuously wants to learn and become better. And, that's the best attribute to have as a cricketer. It's not about what you know, it's about what you want to know and what you want to become as a player. And you always have that mindset. The chances are, yes, sometimes the road might look a little bit long, but when you eventually get there, the world is your oyster. You'll do so well that people will forget that you had to walk that long road. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely people that South Africa is going to have to keep an eye on for the next few seasons, because I think they've got the capabilities of playing for the country one day.
And then final question from DT again. He says he just wanted to know he wants to join Iron Villages, but I see it's affiliated with the Titans and Northerns. Plus, there's guys like Junior Dala playing there. Can the general public join, or is it used for development purposes?
No, I think you can just give them a call and you tell them that you're interested in playing for their club, and then if you're good enough, I'm sure you'll play first team. Who knows?
Hi, DT. Maybe you come on the Cricket Fanatics for an interview. Okay, Coach Mandla, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving me your time. I know it was a late show, but like, thanks a lot for giving me your time so late at night. You must be obviously. I'm tired of fasting all day, but I mean, it's good to chat to you and also catch up. I hope we can chat again very soon and catch up again. I always enjoy my conversations with you.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Okay, I'll chat to you soon.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Okay, guys, that's my interview with the Titans head coach. I really enjoyed it. Some excellent insight into that particular video. I'll obviously clip it and find something that is really interesting from this perspective that I'll put up on Facebook. But please, if you guys are tuning in now, watch this interview. There was a lot of excellent points being made in this particular interview. I really enjoyed it. It was some insight that you don't necessarily get anywhere else in the. I don't think you get this type of content anywhere else. So please continuously support us so we can bring you more of these type of interviews. Before I get going, guys, a couple of things that I please would like you guys to do. Please subscribe to this channel. 40% of you guys are watching the videos without subscribing. So please subscribe and click the notification bell for all future videos. I'd also like you guys to please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. I'd also like you guys to please become a patron today by clicking on the link on the screen as well as in the description to help us grow and promote South African cricket. It's very important that you guys do that. Also, contact us if you guys want to advertise on Facebook, etc. If you have small businesses, medium to small enterprises, and you want to get involved with us and you want to maybe promote your business on Cricket Fanatics magazine, you can contact us on cricketfanaticsmag@gmail.com, and you can get in touch with us and we can start the conversation and get that going as well. Go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates and smash the like button. Please drop a like on the video so that we can get into new audiences, feeds, etc. And we can continuously spread this content and gain a new audience. We are so close, only 90 subscribers to 4,000. So please help us get to that level on YouTube. So the guys that are watching on Facebook, please cross over to YouTube. The guys on Twitter, please cross over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Let's see who I'm going to interview tomorrow. I'm going to be grafting tomorrow to try and get another interview for tomorrow's daily show. Let's see who I can get. Otherwise, we'll do a normal daily show with you guys and the fans, and I'll answer your questions. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.